All right, here we're ready to start taking some water data from the stream itself. I'm going to start with flow rate, and I want to get mid-channel, mid-stream without going in there, because that's kind of mucky. I have no idea how deep it is. So I have rigged up the VNet to be able to reach the water a little bit better. And I'm going to put in what the flow rate is. That. Wait for it to start up here. In the fourth stream, it's definitely going to be zero here, so it's just not enough water movement to spin that little propeller. All right, I'm going to pause it and use this contraption to collect some water samples for phosphate and nitrate, and we'll do some other tests. Okay, I've rigged up So I poured some of that water into the turbidity cuvette, and just looking at it, it looks a little murkier, a little bit murky. So we're going to measure it, do the wipe it off with the old shirt, and put it into the turbidity sensor, making sure to line up the arrows, the arrow in the machine, the arrow in the like our turbidity reading, it's hard to see, it's like 6.8 NTU. So we'll record that and then do the nitrite, and phosphate tests. Okay, so now we're going to do the nitrate test. Nitrate. So we'll put this in the water, put it across the edge. I got a good bottle of test strips now, so this will work. We'll let it wait a minute and then read it on the chart. Okay, it's been a minute, so here's the nitrate test, and I'll just kind of put it up here. You can make your own judgment on this, and then I will record what I think it is. The top pad is nitrate, bottom pad is nitrite. And again, this is a better bottle, a new bottle that I got from the labs, so hopefully this will work better than the one first site. Okay, so now it's time for the phosphate test. I've filled the phosphate cuvette with 10 milliliters of the water that I had sampled. Let me get the test strip, bend it in half. Oh, come on. I have to get a test strip first. Bend it in half. In the cap. And invert it 5 times. Alright, and came out nicely this time. Okay, so now we will read it on the chart. I'm going to put this in the okay, so I'm actually going to change the camera angle. Alright, well hopefully we got that. I think I didn't hit pause correctly, so maybe we'll edit that out, whatever. So right now I've got the pH sensor on here, and we're going to take a pH reading. At 5.57. pH is 5.57. Okay, now we're set up for dissolved oxygen. So we'll see what the dissolved oxygen is. It's out here in the air, it says 100%, so that's with a sanity check on the probe. Down towards the bottom. temperature. I've got that all set up. Celsius. So that's the last of the water quality data, the physical, abiotic water quality. The other questions on the sheet: how is this water body used by wildlife fish, or wildlife slash fish? I have seen some birds over here, some wading birds. I saw a great blue heron flying overhead and a snowy egret off the bank there. There are a few. There's probably fish in here.